Good evening, everybody. Tonight I want to demonstrate how to make a black bean burger. It's one of my favorite recipes. It's a rainy, kind of stormy day here in North Dakota, so I thought it would be a good night to make bean burgers. Beans are rich in protein and fiber, and they've been linked to a longer life. So the more beans you eat, the longer you'll live. They maintain muscle mass, and they contain phytates, which have an anti-cancer effect. And they contain a substance called IP5, which is also a powerful anti-cancer agent. If you eat a mango with beans, the glucose of the mango would release slowlier in the body. Eating beans prevents overeating because they are really filling. Okay, so we're going to start out with 1.5 cups of beans. What you want to do is put it in the food processor. Okay, and then we're going to grind this up. You want to keep like pushing the beans down with a spoon because they kind of, I know in mine they kind of pop up. So now they don't have to be ground up to a really smooth, fine texture. They can be kind of lumpy. I think I'll just kind of push it down again a little bit. Yeah, beans are really good for the digestive system. Okay. So it will look like that, and then you just want to pour it into a big bowl. Okay, and then it calls for 1.5 cups of quinoa, cooked quinoa. So I'll add that to the bowl. And then it calls for 1.5 cups of sweet potato. It's soft, and you can keep the skins on. What I do is I just process it up. It doesn't have to be to a liquid consistency. I can kind of push it down a little bit in the food processor. Okay, so it should look like this consistency. Oh, I'll take out the blade first. Okay, and then it calls for 1/2 cup of diced onions. So what I do is I'll just process them for a little bit so they're not so big. So it also calls for like 1 clove of garlic. What I'm going to do is just cut it into pieces and put that into the food processor also. I guess I don't care if I bite into a piece that's a little bit, you know, bigger. If I was making it for company, I'd probably shred it up with a grater so they're not biting. Okay, so I just kind of process it till it's, you know, smaller pieces of onion. Now it calls for 1/4 cup of quick oats, and I know that some people don't eat oats, like my friend Nathan. Quick oats are just to kind of absorb kind of the liquid in there, but I'm sure they would taste just as good without the oats. But I'll just throw in the 1/4 cup of oats. Now there's a lot of really good spices in the recipe. Spices and herbs are really healthy for you, and you can eat as much as you want of them, and they're not going to hurt you. So the first one, it calls for 2 teaspoons of cumin. So I just buy the organic, you know, spices and herbs in the grocery store in the glass containers. So it's 2 teaspoons of cumin. Okay, and then it calls for 2 teaspoons of paprika. A nice kind of orangey red color. And then it calls for 1 teaspoon of coriander. Yeah, I was gonna go to a train concert tonight, but it was canceled because of the storm. It calls for 1 teaspoon of chili powder. Lots of really healthy spices. Keep the immune system functioning really well. see, 1 tablespoon of onion powder. Yeah, I'm sure my friend Nathan will really love these bean burgers if he ever comes to visit again. I'll make them for him. Then it is 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. 1 tablespoon of oregano. The mixture looks like that. And now with this recipe, you can just use your hands to kind of mix everything up. And your hands are gonna get sticky and full of food, but that's okay. Run water over them after you're done. Yeah, it smells really delicious, this recipe. And now, when you make them into patties, you can put them in the oven for like 10 minutes. I'm always thinking of the energetics of food, so I don't even put them in the oven. I just make it into a patty, and I just eat it the way it is. And then I just put it on a piece of sprouted bread. And I know some people don't eat bread, or some people don't even eat sprouted bread. It's not the worst food for you, but it's not the best food either for you. Food you don't want to eat a lot of. I just usually eat 1 or 2 slices a day of the sprouted bread. And the difference between the sprouted bread is everything's sprouted in it, and then it's baked really slowly, not like regular bread. But I kind of just eat it just for a variety of food, so I have a little more variety in my diet. Yeah, it's looking really good. It's smelling really great. Okay, so you can make the patties as small or as big as you want. You know, you could eat like up to a cup of beans a day, and it's, you know, not going to be bad for you. I heard in one video that if you eat too many beans, though, it could be hard on your kidneys. I would say up to a cup a day is okay. And this has other things mixed in it. It's got quinoa and sweet potatoes. You know, you could eat more. So what I do is I'll just form them into patties that look like this. And then, you know, if you were gonna put them in the oven, you could just put some parchment paper on a pan and cook them, you know, or warm them up for 10 minutes. But I just eat it like this on a piece of bread, and then I put like miso on the top, miso paste for some more of a salty taste. So anyway, I hope that you try these sometime. They're very delicious, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Namaste, everybody. Take care.